Hey y'all, welcome to my UI and add-on guide here for Classic. Wow. This has been probably one of my most requested videos. All the time people are asking, what's this add-on, what's that add-on? Your UI is fantastic, clean, best I've seen. I started playing Classic in 2019. I played in 2004. But basically, I've compiled a lot of very useful add-ons, Weakauras, and there's gonna be a lot of people playing Fresh here, I think, with the with Fresh coming out on November 21st. So might as well get the video done. And so what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going over all of the different UI things I use, the different add-ons. I've got some great quality of life add-ons. So let's get into it. I'm gonna show you what I use. Now, I have some haters of my UI. I know. My UI has everything shifted to the bottom. I like my screen to be very big and open. Very big and open here. Now, to the haters, there still absolutely will be different Weakauras. I've got custom Weakauras. I've got all sorts of, I think, very useful add-ons that I'm going to show you. But to humor you, I will make fun of my UI on your behalf. So here we go. I will make fun of my UI. Okay, so quite a while, a guild member of mine made this to roast my UI. Yeah, look at it move. Somehow, they took a screenshot of me, clearly on Kel'Thuzad. I had an unfortunate death. And then they took every single action bar, every single keybind, every single raid frame, and they cut them out. And yeah. Let's try and put my UI back together. Of course, the joke is that my UI is all at the bottom. You know, gravity is affecting my UI. But I think we can put our thing back together. Can't be that difficult. Oh. There you go. We got a raid group. I can scrunch it down. Whoa, we don't want to do that. Anyways, it's pretty funny, as you can see. Yeah. I laughed so hard when I first saw this, man. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over the add-ons, starting from top to bottom, alphabetical order. So let's do that. So we go here to our add-ons. We have Deadly Boss Mods, of course. That would be a very good add-on for you to get. We're not going to go over that. If you don't know how to use Deadly Boss Mods, you can fiddle fart with that yourself. But Adibags is the bag add-on that I use. And what it allows me to do is sort my bags. Instead of having the base UI bags where you have, bag 1, 2, 3, 4, and your big bag, or using a bag add-on that is going to just have you one giant big bag, what this allows you to do is categorize things. So, for example, I have Miscellaneous. It has, my mounts, my festive mug, Hearthstone, Dartle's rod. I have a partition for boon. I've got one for mitigation gear, frost gear, my jewelry, my flask set. I'll quickly show you the bank. And it will let you find that stuff easier. No need to look for your fire resist gear shuffled in with all your other gear. So I've got tools, that's got my rocket helmet and stuff, my stopwatch and Skull of Impending Doom, my mount set. I have all of these different sets. Now what I'm going to do right now is show you how to make one of those custom sets yourself. So check this out. Because this is my alt and I never got around to doing it, my boon, it's just mixed in with all this other stuff. So what we're going to do is fix it. By the way, never have this right click to open options, because if you accidentally click in this empty space, it'll open the options. It's really, really annoying to have that happen. But what we're going to do is go to filters, and we're going to go to manual filtering, and we want to do like a new item here. So there's a couple things we can do. We can just drag it in there. And then we're going to put this. This is not super important, but we're just going to put this as a consumable. And then the section, we're going to call it Boon. I hit OK. Add association. Now, I can either drag my supercharged Chrono Boon displacer into here, or right here on the word Boon, I can grab and drag this and put it in there. And now it's associated. And now we have Boon being categorized somewhere. Now I'm going to tell you about a different bag add-on, but another cool feature of Adibags is when I grab something from the mail or loot an item from a boss or something, we get the recent items. But of course, once you close the bag, it just goes into a section, but it has a glow around it, so you still can find those newer items. Another cool add-on is called Bagsync. So you can see here, I have Goblin Sapper Charge. I have one on me, but you can see here, I have 448 on my Sapper Mule called Bomb Diggity. They have 448 with 310 on their person and 138 in the mail. Then my other characters also have a different denomination of them. Bagsync is right here on my mini map, and if I left click, I'm going to get a search window, and so I could type in like, I need mongoose, elixir of the mongoose. I have 237 of them on Mark the Shark. So if I ever forget where a certain item is, that's great. When you're playing on a fresh server, quite frequently you're going to be wanting to buy or sell things. And if you're going to be selling things one at a time, that's very inconvenient. Let me show you what Auctionator can do on my bank alt. So when it opened up, it's going to kind of give you some information. Actually, you can click this thing. I just realized that now, so I don't see this thing again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to selling, and anything that I want to sell, I'm going to find it here. So if I want to sell a traveler's backpack, or here I've got these Idol of Life, I can sell it. I have 2 stacks of one. I hit post, and it just automatically looks at what the current price is, and it drops it down by 1 copper. If I wanted to buy something, I could type in, well, first of all, it has a save. So if I want to buy Elemental Earth, or if I want to buy Grom's Blood, I can look at these things, and I could buy these things. And I could just click buy, and then I could just smash this button and buy it quickly. Less clicking. So Auctionator is a fantastic add-on. Try not to jump around too much here, but I also use the Adibags ElvUI skin add-on. This is just going to make it look like ElvUI, basically. Bigdebuffs is an add-on that is going to, on your enemy nameplate, it's going to help you track debuffs. Certain add-ons like threat plates or ElvUI, they might also have some of this function, but for me, what I do is I also use Bigdebuffs to help track certain debuffs that I put on an enemy. Characterstatsclassic is cool because what it's going to do is I can go to melee and it's going to tell me like hit chance and all this stuff. I also have this up here with my ElvUI. ClassicAuraDurations is a fantastic add-on that is going to do a couple things. Sometimes it's going to let me see enemy world buffs and enemy buffs on those players if you're kind of targeting when they happen. It's also going to help give duration on auras, because if you don't have this, sometimes your user interface is just going to show battle shout last 2 minutes, but doesn't say the time. So just because Classic WoW doesn't have all of these integrations, didn't have all that stuff back then. So sometimes we need to use these add-ons that add that stuff. ClassicCastbars is fantastic. So for example, this is my mount cast bar. If I'm targeting a player, it has a different cast bar here. I'm not sure why it's not as centered. Normally it is, but I'll show you how we can recenter that really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to options, add-ons, classic cast bars. I'm going to go to cast bar target and enable the toggle testing target. By the way, you can change the icons and colors and all sorts of stuff, and especially the cast bar media, you can make it more modern looking instead of the old classic cast bar looking thing. Then what I can do is I can move it and just drag it over here a little bit. I have no idea why it got moved like that, but it did. And now things are centered a little bit nicer. While we're at it, let me just double check that everything else is how it should be. If I pop Blood Rage, we're kind of going ahead a little bit. You're going to see here my Swing Timer Weakaura and my Nugenergy add-on. I just want to make sure that the cast bars are not clipping too much. All right, that's fine. Perfect. Go back to here, add-ons, classic cast bars, and then cast bar target. We'll no longer toggle it. So now we're back to normal. Details, fantastic for just seeing damage and healing done, that kind of thing. I use ElvUI with, where is it? Where's the Benik edit? ElvUI Benik UI Classic. So I have ElvUI, and then I have ElvUI Benik UI Classic. The Benik edit just adds a couple different things, different skins, like this some of the this brown line. It just adds a little bit of flair that I enjoy. Now, instead of the traditional ElvUI player and enemy name like target frames here, I use easy frames. I personally stack them this way, and you're going to see why in a little bit because of a different add-on. But I have them both on my left. Kind of like Super Saiyan, you know, you just have the lens telling their power level. I don't know. But some people like to have one here, one there. Just don't put them up here at the top, in the top left of the screen. Now we have an add-on called Enemy Cooldown Count Classic. I am hoping that with Classic Fresh, these old depreciated add-ons get an update, because this add-on currently, if you download it, you will not, if you go option add-on ECDC, you will not even see this. It would just say easy frames and gargle. You would not see this. But a friend of mine rewrote the add-on, and I made a video about it. You can download a file that you have to put in, you have to replace in here, and it will allow you to get this back here to show text icons, change the size, vertical, whatever you want to do. But what does this add-on do? I think the best thing would be to show it on my mage, because they have a lot more cooldowns. So here we are on my mage. If I target myself, essentially above this target frame, the cooldowns of who I am targeting will appear. So normally I'm targeting an enemy, not myself. But let's say I am targeting an enemy mage. If they blink, I know what the cooldown of their blink is. If they Frost Nova, if they Cone of Cold, right? If they Blast Wave, if they use Combustion, and then I click off Combustion, it's going to show the 3-minute cooldown of Combustion, blinks available, they blink again, you know, ice barrier, ice block, whatever the case may be, whatever the class is, preparation, blind, you know what their cooldown is. So it's called enemy cooldown count, and the reason I have a gap in between here is because I'm like, where am I going to put this? I'm going to nestle it right in between here. That is my HUD. Then I have Gather Mate too. So if I pick something, it's going to put an icon on the map. This character is not a gatherer, so it wouldn't show. But for Classic Fresh, you're going to be picking a lot of flowers and you're going to hit a lot of rocks. And you will love this add-on, I think. Gearmenu is right here. So what this allows you to do is pick whatever slot you want to track. So if I want to change my helmet, I can do so here. You could also use Itemrack, which I'll talk about soon. Itemrack, you could Alt left click. Let's say I want to do the helmet and the boots and the weapon. I could do the same thing here. I'm just, I kind of like Gearmenu more so than the Itemrack one here. But both are fine. And you just Alt click to remove those as well. Add-on options, add-ons. So if we go to gear menu, I don't want to spend too much time here, but you would go to the gear bar configuration, and you can see here, like I have the gear bar locked. If I unlock it, I can move it around, that kind of thing. I have show cooldowns checked, so if I use my rocket helm, I can see the cooldown, might as well. So yeah, I could keybind something. I never use that function, but I could keybind it. I use a macro down here for keybind of my helmet. That's what I do. So I suppose I could free up the action bar, and if I have my Goblin Rocket helmet on down here, instead of using Shift C to use my rocket helmet, I could make this the keybind up here and give it an extra action bar space. I don't see the need. So Itemrack. I think the best character to look at Itemrack on is my warrior, because warriors, they have a lot of gear. So we're going to look on my warrior here for Itemrack, and I will show you how it works, and I'm going to show you a beautiful add-on that I use in tandem with Itemrack. So first, I go Itemrack space OPT for options, and I go to sets. So this is my insane threat set. Insane threat. I have my 4-piece boon, 4-piece unboon. You can see how it changes. Booned threat, DPS, HP, full mitigation, PvP set, for fighting Saffron, polarity, different sets. And you could, change. So let's say I pick the 4-piece boon set, and I say, actually, no, I want to use, this helmet. I would select this helmet, then I hit save, but I, of course, don't want to do that. So anyways, then how do you select these sets? And it will change your gear. Well, there's 2 ways. Actually, 3. One way is that you could use a macro. So this is what I used to do, and I would have script toggle set parentheses quotations 4-piece unboon, and that would put that set on. But what I do now is I use an add-on called Opie, O-P-I-E. It's amazing. So we're gonna jump to that add-on. The other way would be a minimap button, but I don't want to move my mouse all the way down here to the minimap and select an item set. What if you could select your item set from anywhere on the screen? What I do for my Diamond Flask set is I just have some equip, Eye of the Dead, equip Diamond Flask, and then equip and use Life-Giving Gem, and then this is my Diamond Flask Itemrack macro, so I can hit Diamond Flask, or so I can hit Eye of the Dead. It's going to use it or equip it. And then I'm going to use this, and it's going to use the Diamond Flask for healing. I want to replace my Eye of the Dead with Life-Giving Gem. I hit that, and it puts it in that slot. And then I do this to go to my previous set. And now my Diamond Flask is ticking. You can see it down there for 1862. That's just a quick way for me to get my Diamond Flask set going. But what if I want to switch to a different set? First, let me show you my professions. Alt-T brings up my professions. Anywhere my mouse is, that's my professions. So if I want to bring up engineering, or cooking, I just, there it is. Alt-Q, I have made, so I can go to my booned thread. I can go to my my DPS gear. I can do my unbooned threat set. I could be walking around with W and hit Alt Q and then pick my 4-piece booned or my unbooned threat. I can very easily switch this gear around. Let me show you what that add-on is. So I go /OPIE, and so we have a custom ring. First of all, I don't want to go too crazy here on this add-on. You have to play around on your own, but basically you could do on ring binding press, open at mouse. That's what I do, but you could have it open at the center of your screen. There are different types of interaction you can play with. But if we go to custom rings, there's trade skills that I showed you, but there's also Malik gear, and how you would add to this slice is, and you can pick, okay, I'm going to add a macro, and so I have those macros that I showed you, and I just put the macro in there, and that's how you do it. So it's that script, blah, 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 Itemrack macro. And it's very easy to switch whatever gear around that I want. Boom, 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 boom. Options. So Leatrix Maps, it's a pretty cool map add-on. If you go out here, it'll show things like the spirit healers, or here's even a skip. If you go up here, you can do your skip to the wetlands, going through. This just helps you get around. Modern TargetFrame is going to make these frames have show your health a little bit better, so that it kind of helps see more detail. Nova World Buffs lets you track when world buffs are dropping. Nugenergy, I showed you, that's this add-on here. It tracks rage or energy. So if you're a warrior, a rogue, or a feral druid, this is a nice add-on to have. OmniCC, honestly, I don't really use this add-on, but it's popular. Opie, I showed you. PallyPower Classic, that's for Pallies. Questie, just download it. It helps you quest. Ranker, that's for ranking. We won't go over that. There's not going to be ranking too much in Fresh for a while. Spy, what that does is if there's enemies around you, it's going to track that. Talented, when I open up my talent panel, it looks like this. And what I can do, and this add-on takes a little bit of getting used to. It's not very user-friendly in my opinion, but new template, I can make a new template, or if I go to template, warrior, you know, I have my Fury prod template here. I could go action, apply this template, and I don't have to remember for all my different characters, wait, what spec is this? I just hit apply template. It's not instant, but in about 30 seconds, it'll do all the talents. You don't have to click around. So Talented is a pretty cool add-on. Just takes some getting used to. One of the most common questions I get is, what is that thing? Target Nameplate Indicator is what it is. Let me show you. Target Nameplate Indicator. Well, I'm riding over here. Here's how I use Trinketmenu. I just put my mouse over here. Right click is what I want to wear, so I'm going to put DFT for right click in the bottom and kiss the spider, left click in the top. If I want to do, you know, badge, go back to DFT, right click and left click. But anyways, we're out here. So let's just say we find a bad guy with a red name. When I put my mouse on a bad guy, we get, I have it set to show this red reticule or whatever it is. But if I have aggro, it's going to look like this. So I can go Blood Rage and Demo Shout. Now my target is going to be shown with this green triangle. Also, I have a Weakaura that tells me, hey, you're not attacking, dummy. And green means I'm in range. But if I'm out of range, it'll be red. So I just need a bit more rage. If I have a bit more rage, I could fear this guy. And if I go out of range, now it's red. If I go in range, it's green but not attacking. So those are just some of the Weakauras that I'm showing you right now, and what some of my combat stuff looks like. I'm going to show you full combat, what it looks like momentarily here. So I use threat plates, and there's a lot of functions you can use for that. When we get into combat, you'll see what my threat plates look like. Threat Classic 2 is right here. It's just more accurate than the tiny threat integration of details, which I wish tiny threat was better, because you can see I have details integrated into my ElvUI, whereas threat 2 is like I just drag it around, but it's black and it kind of hides in this shaded area. I have an ambusher attacking me. I have an add-on called WarriorTankAnnounce. If you're tanking, it's nice to use, because if you do like Last Stand or something, it'll yell it out. Not a bad thing to say. You're like, oh, I parried my attack, or there's different Weakauras and stuff for those announces. Vuhdo is what I use for healing. So if I were to be on my healer, if I left click, right click, it allows me to heal. Instead of like pressing a keybind for healing, it's just left click could be flashlight, right click could be holy light, shift left click could be blessing and protection. So you can do all these keybinds just clicking to heal, which is pretty nice. Trinketmenu, you saw it here. Unitscan, if I'm looking for a rare mob, which you might be in Classic Fresh, you can, especially hunters who want to tame a pet, you can use Unitscan. Or if you want to kill someone, you could do Unitscan to find that person. Weakauras, we're going to go over Weakauras now. I have got a lot of them. If you're leveling up, the What's Training add-on is pretty good, because what it's going to do is when you open up your skill tree, there will be another box right here, and it's going to tell you what can you train and at what level, how much is it going to cost. It'll let you know if I'm level 16, do I want to go back to town and train or keep questing, because maybe the level 16 skill is junk. So Weakauras, I have a lot of them. Check this out, just a lot of Weakauras, and I'm going to share these with you. So let's say I'm in Warsong Gulch. Right here I have the this add-on, and it's click to, you just click on them, and in the battleground chat it's going to say like, the Alliance flag carrier is going tunnel, or they're in the flag room, connector, second floor, ramp, graveyard, top of tunnel, leaf, zerker, roof, cap, that kind of thing. Or they're in the middle, Middle East, Middle West, they're at the tree, they're at the top. So this is really an awesome Weakaura for Warsong Gulch. This is the Armor Debuffs Weakaura. What it does is it tracks Expose Armor, Curse of Wreck, it tracks Fairy Fire, and Demo Shout. So just really good to be able to keep track of what's going on here. 4 Horsemen Mark counter. Pop 'em tank announce. That's just like, hey, I missed. I had a taunt resist, that kind of stuff. AQ40 Anubisath Helper. It tells you what order to kill them in. Arathi callouts, very similar. Incoming 3 Lumbermill. You just spam that. You don't have to go typing. You can, you see them coming. You just click. Auto Biju, that rolls need on Biju. This auto marker, honestly, it doesn't work that well, so don't worry about that. Avoid lava damage is a nice one. Bag of marbles. Here's my battle. I've got a battle shout one. It tracks my battle shout. Arathi Basin cap announcer. If that's good for Arathi Basin. Battleground res timer. Bone Reaver's Edge stack counter. If you're lucky enough to get a Bone Reaver's Edge. Brown Boy's swing timer. If you're a brown boy and you swing weapons, you might want a nice swing timer like this. Buff Battle Shout. There's Nova World buffs going. Ren's dropping. Buff Battle Shout. This lets you know, does anyone in your group not have Battle Shout? You might have Battle Shout, which the other one tracks, but maybe the rogue in your group doesn't have Battle Shout. Cancel Argent Dawn Commission. It takes up a buff slot. Challenging Shout Tracker. This lets me know as a raid leader who has Challenging Shout available. Classic Guild Frame. This is just something that allows you to open up your guild frame and not have the new one that looks like this, in case you don't want that. This tracks clear cast procs. Now this is a custom Weakaura right here. This tracks a lot of things. Let's look at what it tracks. As a warrior, if I get enraged, it's going to track it. What's this one here? Do I need to delete this? No, this is Slice and Dice. I should just retitle this. Rename. How do you rename it? Slice and Dice. I never did that. Why can't I rename it? I guess it's going to stay called Enraged 2. Maybe that's why I can't rename it. But as a rogue, my Slice and Dice. You saw before when I use my Diamond Flask, it tracks that. If I use Kiss of the Spider, it's going to track it right down here. Oops, doesn't do it when the Weakaura thing is open. But it lets me track my Kiss of the Spider, so I know how long it's lasting. We also have all these other ones. The Jom Gabar one, I thank a guild member for giving me this one, because Jom Gabar works in a really tricky way. So I no longer load this one, right? This one here is load never. This is the old Jom Gabar one. This one is beautiful. It stacks, it tracks the stacks. This one was very difficult to make, I think. Anyways, this tracks all the trinkets in the game. Scare Brooch, Scrolls of Binding Light, Burrower Shell. Whatever trinket you use, it's going to track how long it is effective for. It tracks your Crusader procs. If you use a Mighty Rage Potion, Recklessness, Flurry. Actually, this one is load never. I should just delete that one. Flurry, this one is stacks the tracks better. Death Wish. So this tracks all of your damaging cooldowns and stuff. It lets you know when you have 2 Crusader procs, that's the time to pop Death Wish so you do more damage. Here's my consume tracking Weakaura. Lets me know did a buff drop. Let me pop that Mongoose. Here's my dense dynamite and sapper Weakaura. Details. Does something. I don't know what it does. Does something good. Extra attack. If you get a Hodge proc or a Wind Fury or a Sword Spec, it just makes a lightsaber sound. Who doesn't like lightsaber sounds? Fap and Lip Weakaura. I'm going to share all these Weakauras with you. This lets you know when your target used a Fap or a Lip. Very important to know if they have a Lip on them so you're not still attacking them trying to do damage. Or did they just Fap? Well, don't try and stun them. You're going to waste your stun. This tracks if I have Fear Ward on me. Frost Blast Glow on my raid frames as a healer to know if Kel'Thuzad is doing that. This is the Grobulus Slime Spray. Amazing Weakaura to know, is his slime spray open? He's going to spray you. Hide Blizzard Pull Timer. The new update has this ugly pull timer, so this just hides that and makes it go normal. This Healthstone passive, I'm not sure if the Warlock needs this as well, but it lets them know when you use your Healthstone and they will trade it to you as like a good boy they hopefully are. This is the in-range melee Weakaura, Kel'Thuzad, Shackle Tracker, Mechs and a shield warning. If they're enraged, it'll let you know, put on your shield, dummy, you're going to die. This is my mage monitor, so as a mage, I know what other mages are casting, or as a raid leader. If I say drop the ignite and I see a mage still casting fireballs, I can give him shit later. Frickin' mages. Stupid mages. This is my Scorch and Ignite tracker. This is... what does this one do? I forget if this one says if someone dies and loses their buffs, or if what it does, but it's something like that. Malik Warrior cooldowns. I'll show you how this works. But any cooldown I use, and I have this, I have one also for my shaman, for my pally, for my rogue, for my mage. You would have to make your own for priest to track the cooldowns, but it's not that difficult. You just would have to go in here, and you could duplicate Berserker Rage or whatever, and then just, you know, add the trigger being the whatever spell you want to track. Instead of Berserker Rage, maybe it's Desperate Prayer or something. Anyways, it tracks all of my shield wall and all these other cooldowns, so I'll show you what that looks like. Movement speed. If I am using my Skull of Impending Doom or my Rocket Boots, it just lets me know how long it lasts. Nameplate Sunder. This puts how many Sunders the enemy has on the nameplate, very useful. Nameplate debuff and taunts. It lets me know, are these mobs taunted? You know, when an AoE show goes out, very important. Nan shield, if you're a mage or a priest, lets you know your shield, or if you're just using a frost protection potion or something. Nax KT abilities, very important to track for KT abilities. This one you don't need. This is just going to turn off enemy nameplates in Nax if you're doing a big AoE pulls. Nax, Fugan, Health. This is a custom Weakaura I'm not permitted to share with you. It's for Saffron Polarity. It's for the upper echelons of people who actually do that fight. Custom Weakaura that I can't share with you. Don't have permissions to do that. The author would accost me. Naxxramas wing locations. It puts it on your mini-map, so when you zone out from one wing to the other, you're like, where am I going? Other people are unbooning around you. If you want to kill someone who's unbooning, this will let you know. Or if your raid is unbooning, it'll let you know, like, oh shoot, I need to unboon. Overpower on the nameplate. So when you whirlwind 4 mobs, you'll see a dodge and maybe overpower can be available, but you don't know who can I overpower, which mob is it. This lets you know. Power Infusion, this tracks priest power infusion cooldown. This is good for mages. Prophet Skuram, this lets you know which one's a real one or a fake one, even though fresh is coming out. One day maybe you'll be in AQ40. PvP buff group, this lets you know, like, does the enemy you're fighting have some of these buffs? It's just useful to have, like Soul Link and stuff. Raid mana, this goes here. I think I moved this down right there. I recently changed my UI scale a tiny bit, that's why some of these are out of place. But this lets me know, like, are my healers out of mana? It's good as a raid leader. Round Robin Hourglass Sand for master looting. Salve Stance Warning. So if I'm in Berserker stance and I'm missing salve, it'll be like, hello, you're missing salve. If I'm in defensive stance and I have salve, it'll say, hello, you have salve, ding dong. Saffron Chill, if you're in a blizzard, it'll yell at you. Saffron Frostbolt counter. This will just let you know how many Frostbolts have gone on. Slayer Whirlwind, if a nasty AoE is going to go out, it's like, get out of the way here. This lets me know what stance I'm in. This tracks if I have Stone Shield. Is my Stone Shield going to run out? Take off your Gigaflux. This is just to take off your Gigaflux if you have it on in a certain place in Nax. Target names on nameplates. This is an amazing, especially for a tank. So let's say there's a bunch of mobs in front of me, and I'll show you this in the footage. If there's a bunch of mobs in front of me, what this Weakaura is going to do is it's going to tell me what the enemies are targeting. And if it's targeting a mage, I need to be like, oh, I'm going to taunt that off that mage. Very important for a tank to have this. Thunder Fury procs. Whenever I get a Thunder Fury proc, it just says, hey, you did this much damage with Thunder Fury. It's kind of fun. Time to kill. This is a great one to have right here. What it does is it estimates how fast the boss will die. So if it says the boss is going to die in 30 seconds, well, don't use your Death Wish then, because probably you'll still have Death Wish at the end. Instead, when it says boss is going to die in 40 seconds, then you pop your Death Wish, because everyone else is going to pop your Death Wish, and the boss is going to die faster, and then your Death Wish will hopefully be used for the last 30 seconds of the fight. Makes sense? Tomb Horror nameplate on or off. This is just for speed running in Nax. Trinket Hive Mind, and lets you know what the other warriors are using for trinkets. Sometimes it's nice to know, like, oh, other warriors are popping trinkets. Maybe I should as well. Understudy Battle Shout missing. You can Battle Shout the understudies on Resuvius and make them do more damage if the priest is in your party. So it'll say, hey, there's no Battle Shout on this mob. It'll kill Resuvius faster if you Battle Shout. Visitus Sapper range. So basically, it'll tell you the best time to Sapper on Visitus. So you're not hitting just 3 mobs. War Chief Blessing Cancel Honorless. If you log in, it'll just click off the honorless target if you need to mind control yourself. This is a Nax speedrun Weakaura to try and beat 500, please. Which we never... Well, we did pretty good. We got a 46 minute Nax, but anyways. World buff check. This will go across the screen here, and it will let me know as a raid leader how many people have died and lost to world buffs. World buff removed auto screenshot. If you kill someone with their world buff, it'll take a screenshot. You can put this wherever. Warstone Gulch flag carrier names. This is just useful to know who the Warstone Gulch flag carriers are. It goes up here. Zanza token. I'll show you what this does. Let me head over to the flight path. What it's going to do is, let's say you want to fly to go to Westfall and get a Zanza. I believe this is an alliance only. Only useful for an alliance. Yeah, it's for Westfall flight path. So let's say you click, and I'm pretty sure this works anywhere, but it's particularly for in Stormwind, because that's where the bank is. Let's say I want to go get a Zanza. I'm going to fly to Westfall, but it says here, you have 0 tokens and 0 bijous. So how are you going to get a Zanza? So instead of flying to Westfall, running to the island, realizing you don't have a Zanza or a biju, and then going back to Stormwind to grab it and to go back, it says, whoa, 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 whoa. You don't have the biju or the token.
Go with honor, friend.
Lastly, we have Zippy's taunt monitor. Let me just get this where I want it. Again, I just kind of moved my UI around a little bit not too long ago. So what this will say, when you taunt something, how long it's active for and if it resists, and it'll track other people's taunts. So if someone else taunts and it resists, it lets you know, hey, it resisted. My mage, this tells me if I don't have an armor, if I don't have intellect. This is for MSA procs. Just fun to track. I'm not even sure what this one does, but it does something awesome, I'm sure. My Paladin Seal Weakaura lets me know what seal is active. If I'm using bolts it'll tell me actually. If I put my bolts on, it'll tell me. Because the bolts has a charge up time, so it's nice to know when it's going to go off. That's what that one tracks. But it probably only tracks it in raid. Where is that? Bolts. Am I blind? Anyway, we have a swing timer for twisting. This is a Valentine Weakaura. It just skips cinematics when you're logging into a new character and stuff, and helps you get your Valentines faster. This for Rogue, Vanish, Paladin cooldown, Rogue cooldown, Mage cooldown. I'll show you what it looks like on my Mage. Let me show you the Weakaura that tracks cooldowns. So if I use Zerker Rage, it says, hey, it's active for 8 seconds, 6 seconds left. If I use Blood Rage, if I use Death Wish, if I oh, there's the Ramson's Lightning Bolt cast. That's cool. It works. If I use Stone Form, it's active for 6 seconds, and when it's no longer active, it's going to track the cooldown. So this tracks all of my cooldowns. I have other action bars over here. They're transparent. This is for my consumes. This is my other action bar. This action bar here, I only show 5 buttons because I know what Heroic Strike button is. I don't need Heroic Strike on my UI. And so I only track 5 action bars. Everything else, it's just the cooldowns. You know, like when I use Blood Rage, that's number 5. I know Blood Rage is number 5, and I know if I see the grayed out thing saying there's 50 seconds left, I know that's the cooldown, and when that's gone, I know it's available. Let's talk about this with things in action. So you can see Warriors have done challenging shouts. So that's that Weakaura tracking it. You can see here my my flurry tracker. Recklessness is used. There's a Crusader proc, another flurry. We have this I didn't mention before. This is just for mostly streaming, like with details. It's a sort of plugin that allows you to see what buttons I'm pressing. But you can see here that, yeah, that's what I look like in combat. I've made a couple small tweaks since this video, just kind of straighten things out a little bit that weren't straightened out. But yeah, basically that is my UI, and you can see here my Sunder. Oh, there was a taunt. You know, you can see the taunt. There's the target nameplate indicator in action. The Weakaura that shows Sunders. That's number 1, number 2. You know, now it's got 3. It's got 4. Again, the target nameplate indicator, and my debuffs, all this kind of stuff. So here's the Nugenergy showing my stuff. Here I'm using Trinketmenu. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's my UI. I like it. If you like it, what I'm gonna do is I am going to link all of the Weakauras. I'm gonna put my custom made ones on Vuhdo. I will provide. I think I can put either if I have to use a paste bin to give you my ElvUI profile, or if I can do that on Vuhdo, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna, in the description of the video, put all of the different areas for you to download this stuff, add-on links, add-on names, whatever the case may be. I'll put that all in the video. If you found this helpful, please leave a kind comment below. It helps balance out the haters. If you use just one of these add-ons, then I consider this video to be a success. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. It's taken me a while to get this video out. So yeah, sweet. Cheers. If you enjoyed the video, drop me a sub and a comment. Catch me live on my Twitch channel, Dwarf Lord TV, to connect with me or say hi to me in game on any of my characters. Dwarf Lord out.
And they say that the Dwarf Lord could save us. I'm not gonna pave here and wait. I'll hold on to the beard of the Dwarf Lord. Watch as we